Good morning, my dear students. This is the fourth lecture for nutrition in plants, and earlier we have discussed all the autotrophic nutrition in plants, that is photosynthesis, and what is the importance of leaves, and what happens if there is no photosynthesis. So today we will cover some more topic. Today the first topic is see what we have studied, that is photosynthesis is very essential. So you must understand whether there is the light is necessary for photosynthesis or not, or can photosynthesis can take place in absence of light or not. So just we are going to show some experiment or activity to show that light is necessary for photosynthesis. See in this what I am showing here, that for this experiment what we need, the material required are a potted green plant, black paper and paper clip, iodine solution and dropper. What we have to do, we have to just cover a part of a leaf of that potted plant with the black paper, and then we have to then we have to allow the plant to carry out photosynthesis by keeping it in the sunlight for 3 to 4 hours. Then after that what we have to do, we have to tear that leaf, and then we have to put iodine solution on the whole part of the leaf after removing the black paper from that leaf. So what we will observe, we observe that when we put or when we test with iodine solution, the uncovered portion of the leaf develops blue black color, while the covered portion of the leaf does not develop blue black color, it becomes brown. So it means the covered part, what was the covered area, doesn't undergo any type of photosynthesis. There is no formation of a star, there is no formation of any carbohydrate, or there is no formation of any of the food. So there is no change in color, because starch is produced if the photosynthesis is going to take place. Starch is produced only in those parts of the leaves that are exposed to sunlight, because at that part only the photosynthesis has taken place. The activity thus proves that sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. So we see that by showing or doing this activity, we can show that light is necessary for photosynthesis. In the same way, one more activity is there, just to show that green pigment, that is chlorophyll, is also necessary for photosynthesis. In this activity we have to do, just we have to take one variegated a plant having variegated leaves. Variegated leaves, you know, the colored leaves, leaves which have other colors than green, like yellow, violet, or any other color. So we can take any plant which is having variegated leaf, and then we have to keep it into the sunlight for 3 to 4 hours, and then by tearing one leaf we can put iodine solution on that leaf, so that we can test the presence of starch or the formation of starch, or the photosynthesis can take place in where it is taking place. So what we see when we put iodine solution on one of the leaf of that plant which is having variegated leaf, the green portion of the leaf develop blue black color, and the non-green portion turns brown in color. It means the photosynthesis has taken place only in that part which was green in color, not in all part. So what we observe, that the only green part is going to perform photosynthesis, not the other color, because only the other colors are present in higher percentage than the green color, but it doesn't mean they will perform photosynthesis. Only the green pigment is necessary for photosynthesis. So you must remember these points: chlorophyll and sunlight, both are necessary for photosynthesis. Now we will proceed towards the other topics that is also important. That is the most important topic is that we have to study now is heterotrophic nutrition in plants. Like this, see here I have made some notes. If you have missed notes in Zoom classes, so you can prepare from here. See, heterotrophic, already I have discussed the nutrition in which the one or the individual do not prepare their own food. They depend on some plants or any other animals for their food. See here what we have written. In plants also there are some plants which depend on others. They do not prepare their food, like they are no they would be green, non-green in color, so that they depend on other plants. Like we will see here what are that plants. Some plants which cannot prepare their own food depends on the food prepared by other plants. The leaves in these plants do not contain chlorophyll. This is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. And heterotrophic plants are of four types: parasitic, saprophytic, insectivorous and symbiotic. One by one we will study all these plants. So one by one we will discuss all the four types. What happens in parasitic plants, the non-green plants which live on other plants for obtaining their food and for fulfilling their requirement of nutrients, these type of plants are called parasitic plants. See, the plants from which a parasite derive its food is called host. Like some examples are there, I have written: dodder, rafflesia, yellow rattle, broom rape. So what they do actually what they do, they just insert their root inside the stem of that host plant, and thus they just intake all the nutrients, water, mineral, food coming in that way. So this is they actually do, the parasitic plants. Now coming to the next topic, that is saprophytic plants. You know, sapro means decaying matter, dead or decay matter, and phyto means plants. So the one who prepare their food from the dead and decaying matter. So what I have written, the plants which live and feed on dead and decaying matter are called saprophytic plant. Some examples I have written: mushrooms, moles, yeast. And what they actually do, what the saprophytic plants actually do, they just secrete their digestive juices on the dead and decaying matter, and then they convert it into solution, and after that the nutrients are then absorbed by them. From there they absorb the nutrients from their solution. So in this way saprophytic plants fulfill their requirement of nutrition. Okay, then the next one is insectivorous plants. Plants which eat animals, particularly insects, are called insectivorous plants. See, it doesn't mean insectivorous plants do not prepare their food. They prepare their food, but just to fulfill their need of nitrogen, because they grow in nitrogen deficient places, they just eat insects just to fulfill their requirement of nitrogen. So what they do, they just prepare their sweet juice by their own, and then they secrete it into the some pitcher like structure which is having already one lid on that, and some hairs which is pointing towards the downwards. As soon as the juice is secreted in that pitcher like structure, insect get attracted towards it, and then they just suck it downward. Then the insect is trapped. In this way they eat that insect and fulfill their requirement of nitrogen. The next one is symbiotic plants. Symbiotic plants which live in association with other plants and share shelter and nutrients are called symbiotic plants. See, some plants are there which live together and just they fulfill each other's need. You know, if one plant is going to provide water, mineral and shelter to other, then the other plant will give in return the food to the first one. So a very nice example is for symbiotic plants is lichen, which is a combination or a relationship or an association or a relationship between blue-green algae and a non-green fungus. The non-green fungus, what they do, they just provide shelter, water and mineral to the green algae, and then in return green algae provide them food, and they just provide nutrition to fungus. So in this way the chapter is completed. You can search more and more example for from all these four types of heterotrophic nutritions, and this is all about the first chapter.